Recently, I've been kind of talking about rock stars who were known for pushing the boundaries of what was acceptable in performance, on and off stage, right to the edge of the extreme, and it would be a disservice to rocker women everywhere if I failed to mention the queen of shock rock, the lead singer of the Plasmatics, and the representation of unapologetic female rebellion in punk rock, Wendy O. Williams. Wendy was born in upstate New York in 1949 to what she considered a painfully boring middle-class home. She didn't feel comfortable where she was. She hated anything that implied conformity, consumerism, and materialism, and she wanted to be free of these societal expectations that it seemed were set out for her. She would be arrested for the first time when she was 15 years old, which set her on a path of defiance of the law and everything else expected of her. The following year, she ran away from home on a mission to see the world and find the place that she belonged. But she ended up back in New York City. Fortune would have it that right around the same time, a new underground culture was breaking out in the Bowery with the rise of punk rock and the CBGB scene. This was something that appealed very much to Wendy. She saw an ad for something called the Sex Fantasy Theater, which was a show founded by Rod Swenson. The two started dating, and he would later found the Plasmatics as their manager, with Wendy up front. She was wild. She was part of a group of women in music who found in punk rock a way to be free like never before. They were just as welcome on stage, often blowing their male counterparts out of the water completely. For their shows at CBGB's, Wendy would walk out with a mohawk, wearing electrical tape, and scream singing the lyrics, while prowling around like a destructive alley cat. The crowd's reaction was a mix of kind of thrill and discomfort. The Plasmatics became hugely popular in the scene as a spectacle, and toured the world, often being banned from clubs for Wendy's refusal to wear anything that covered her nipples, and the violence that often erupted at their shows. She refused to be treated any differently than the men who were in the same positions. Iggy Pop was marching around shirtless every event he played, cutting himself on stage, spitting on people. Why couldn't she? She just really did not understand the difference, and refused to accept it. When the punk scene kind of eventually retreated back into the underground, Wendy lost her way again. She was so often dismissed as vulgar or gimmicky, when Wendy was in fact very thoughtful, informed, and principled. She was a fierce animal lover and spent her later years working with Rod in animal rescue shelters and rehabilitation centers. In the 90s, she suffered from severe depression, attempting to take her own life more than once and succeeding in 1998 when she was just 48 years old. She remains an example of true, authentic rebellion. Someone who never really wanted to be a rock star, but who wasn't content to live in a world in which she was not completely free.